Good morning, quilty friends. Joy of Quilting here. We've got our quilt ready now to quilt, and we're going to start over the next few weeks focusing on quilting using your walking foot on the machine. So we'll be looking at straight line quilting, which we have an example of here. And just to add a little interest, we'll be doing some of the simpler fancy stitches on your sewing machine. This is what I call a 3-step zigzag. That makes a lovely quilting lap. And we'll also be looking at using some of the plainer patterns, as you can see, on your machine to use as quilting. But first of all, I need to talk to you about getting your machine ready for machine quilting. If you don't know anything about the walking foot, look at my video on walking feet, which explains how they work and how to attach them onto your machines. When I'm machine quilting with the walking foot, it's best if you use a little sample piece to test your stitches. And if you've got fabric left over from the quilt you're making and use the wadding that you're going to use, that'll be great because you'll get an accurate picture. So, here we go. When I'm machine quilting, I use a longer stitch length than I would use for piecing. Now when my machine comes on, my machine automatically comes on at 2.5 for my straight stitch length. The straight stitch length on my machine goes from 0 to 5, and if I was piecing I'd leave it at 2.5, but when I'm machine quilting I take it up to 3.5, and I'll show you the difference now. And start off as the machine is set up on 2.5, a few stitches like that, and then I should take it up to 3.5 just to show you the difference. Now then, I hope you can see that. Stitches are smaller there and they come longer as they come down. It makes it easier. If they're too close together, it starts to pull on your quilt as well, so you need to have a little bit of a longer stitch length to make it nice and smooth. You also need to check the balance on your or the tension on your stitches. If the tension is too tight, they'll pull. I'm going to loosen my tension down now. Okay, just to hopefully show you. Okay. I don't think you can really make it out, but with the tension tight, the bobbin thread will start to show on the top. And if it's doing that, you need to loosen your top tension until there's no bobbin thread showing on the top. See, I've got a purple in my bobbin. We can see better from the back actually. Look, it looks not such a well-formed stitch. Now, there is another way to alter the tension. If you've got a front-loading bobbin, you may have a bobbin casing. This is the bobbin casing, the bobbin comes out of it, with what they call a stitch finger. That's the stitch finger. And there'll be a little hole in that stitch finger. And if you thread your bobbin thread through that little stitch finger, that'll alter the tension as well. And I usually use my bobbin like that if I'm machine quilting or if I'm doing any kind of embroidery. So that's about it for getting your machine ready. Next week we'll actually start stitching on our quilt.